Welcome back to another episode of the Shoecast show. If this is your first time listening, thank you for tuning in. This is a podcast where we interview people and talk everything related to shoes. My name is Chase, and I'm here today with my co-host Landon. And today we are talking to Izzy Marquez, or better known as Sell Sneakerz with a Z on YouTube. He is a sneaker YouTuber. Everyone? Oh, yeah. How's it going? Yeah, he's a sneaker YouTuber and does videos, tutorials, live cops, and reviews. Izzy, thank you for coming on.
You're welcome. I appreciate you guys having me on here.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
so,
thanks for doing this.
We're going to just dive right in. How did you learn and get into sneakers?
So it's funny that you say that. So actually back in high school as a sophomore, I actually got picked on for having the most ugliest shoes ever. I was actually didn't have that much money at the time, and I really never cared about my appearance until one person really got to me and really bullied me really bad. It was to my extent to finally get into the sneaker game, and I bought the Jordan Flights, which I thought was like an awesome shoe. And keep in mind, I had no knowledge in the sneaker world at the time.
Right.
I remember I bought the shoe, I came into class the next day, and somehow I still got made fun of. So I was so confused. And then one of my friends, who is a football athlete who was maybe 2 years older, educated me on the shoes and stuff. So he told me about the specific shoes, the Jordan 1s, Jordan 4s, Jordan 5s, and all that stuff. And then finally I started to understand it. Then I created another separate business, which is landscaping. And then with that money, I was able to buy shoes. So little did I know throughout time that I was going to be able to resell shoes. I was just getting more informed on educating the shoes specifically. So once I started getting my money, I decided to buy my first pair of rare Jordan 4 Cement 4s. That's when everyone in high school was like, yo, where'd you get these shoes? These are super rare. I don't know how you're able to afford these. And then just from right there, I fell in love with the shoe game. As easy as that sounds.
Wow. No, man, that's a cool story.
I
love that backstory. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But so now we're kind of transitioning. What made you want to start a YouTube channel though? So a lot of people love shoes. Not everyone does the YouTube aspect of it. So kind of what kickstarted that for you?
So I actually watched Jumperman Chris. I actually met him at a couple events before I started my YouTube channel. I always seen him with a camera, and I always wanted to be that person to get out of my comfort zone. So I decided, hey, why not just get involved and try to make a YouTube channel? Now, I was a little bit hesitant due to the fact that I'm not really comfortable with recording myself, especially if I was doing vlogging and stuff.
Right.
So I decided, you know what, instead of vlogging, I'm going to change up a little bit, and how about I educate other people on how to get shoes? Because a lot of people, especially locally by me, since I live in Chicago, Illinois, are always asking how I'm able to get so many shoes from all the stuff that I post on my Instagram page. And I decided, instead of me always getting all the love and support from all the people or just getting all these shoes, why not spread some of my wealth and knowledge to help other people get the shoes?
Right.
So I decided, I want to start a YouTube channel to educate the people on how to get shoes. And then just from there, I just just informing people and just making videos in general. I just fell in love with it. And now I'm doing what I do now. I'm not that really active as I used to be due to the fact that I'm a senior in college right now. But I try to make the best quality content as I can, either every other week. And then I'm not sure if you guys know, I've been following my page recently, but actually got into reselling Pokemon cards and NFL cards. So now I'm going into that way. So it's pretty cool to get into different aspects of getting income from different sources and stuff. But that's how I basically got into it.
Yeah, that's cool, man. We got a question about that later on too. And we actually had Jumperman Chris on here already. So
he's a super guy.
Yeah, super cool guy. We had the pleasure to interview him for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You kind of mentioned it. So you are a student. I just have to ask, do you do reselling full-time?
Full-time, no. I did used to do it when I was in high school due to the fact that I had more time. But as I noticed, when you're growing older and going in college, you have harder courses and you just don't have enough time, especially with my landscaping business that I did have and I still run. I've been doing this for 4 years now. My Fridays and Saturdays are pretty much shot since I'm doing that only on the weekends due to the fact that I can't do that during the weekdays because of college. But like I said, usually either if I'm not here at home, I usually have my younger brother who's actually doing botting for me since I educated him how to do it. So he's usually the one that's print and record and just doing it for me. So I teach him how to do that stuff. That way I can still be at work and still make money even though I'm not on my computer.
Right. And outsourcing to your own family. I like that.
He's just the face. He's got the pretty face. That's it. He does the does all the dirty work.
That's awesome. Very cool, man. So what would you say one of your more favorite moments since being involved in sneakers has been? What's been some of those? I mean, being involved in shoes, I mean, it can be the first time I got this shoe or, kind of meeting those people like Jumperman Chris and stuff like that. What would you say has been some of your favorite times since being started with that?
It's funny that you say that. So I got a couple. So the first one I'm going to begin with is probably going to be the person that actually bullied me a lot completely back in high school. He actually reached out to me a couple years ago and he actually apologized. But it's kind of
Wow.
funny because the way his apology was basically me trying to help him get shoes. So I kind of
Oh,
thought like, I don't really want to help you because you made fun of me, but at the same time, I
yeah.
didn't want to be like bogus. So I
But
was like,
but he was forced to come to you. There had to be
right.
a
So
little
that
bit
was
like
a nice way,
he's knocking
you
on
know?
your door. It's not the other way
Yeah,
around.
because
I
he
like
was
that.
considered like the best sneakerhead in high school. But then when
Okay.
he started seeing that I had over 40 pairs of shoes and it was like the rare ones to get, and then he was kind of wondering how I was able to do it.
Mhm.
Right.
But that was probably one of the best feelings to have him apologize and be like, oh, he needed my help now.
Nice.
And it was just kind of funny the way it worked,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Full
And
circle.
then the second thing would probably be going to sneaker events and meeting people that watch my YouTube videos and content.
Oh wow.
They're approaching me, asking me to take a picture, or just being like, "Oh, you educated me so much on bodying and just educating me on shoes and stuff, and I really appreciate that." And I think that that's the biggest thing for me. I just want to influence other people to go out there and make some income reselling shoes or just falling in love with the shoe game because it's always going to be here even with the whole pandemic occurring. Sure, stuff has been slow, but at the end of
Right.
the day, it's like, you gotta fall in love with the shoes. And then the third thing would probably be just, I don't know. I like shoes in general. I have maybe 40 pairs of shoes upstairs right now that I keep for personal use.
Right.
Most of them I don't actually wear. It's funny that a lot of people think that I wear my shoes. I actually don't. It's not because I don't love the shoe. It's just the fact that I'm a collector and I love collecting shoes that are
Right.
dead stock. So I like to
Okay.
have everything on the backside and display just in case maybe one day if I ever need some type of money, at least I could rely on that.
Right.
Or I could just admire them and just look at them. Even though they're
Right.
collecting dust, whatever it might be, I still just kind of have a thing for them. So it's
That's
just
cool.
in the back burner.
No,
Yeah,
that's always one of the tougher things for me is whenever I do add like a more expensive or a hype pair to my collection, it's like it sits on the shelf for like a month, 2 months before I'll even think about wearing it. It's like I try to buy my shoes to wear them. Not everyone does that, but it got so obsessive to the point where I like he noticed I had to start buying pre-owned shoes so that I had to wear them. Because like I'm not gonna just sit there and stare at a shoe that's dead stock. If
Yeah.
it's pre-owned, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna wear that shoe. So
Right,
sometimes I've been
exactly.
buying them pre-owned.
And fun fact, so what I actually like to do is, so I'll wear my shoes eventually, don't get me wrong. But the thing with me is every single time I get a shoe, I have a specific goal on why I need to wear one. So for example, I have Jordan Off-White 5s. Or yeah, it's the ones, the UNC ones.
I have those.
I
dude.
haven't worn those yet. And I told myself I will only wear them as soon as I graduate college.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
one of the things I'll wear because that's like
Gotcha.
a big goal of mine that I always wanted to do. So that's something that I like to do. And then other shoes are for other different goals that I have, whether
Right.
it's me investing in the stock market, hitting a goal, or just doing something for other people or whatever
Cool.
it might be.
That's awesome.
That's actually a cool way to like de-dead stock them.
Yeah,
after like
yeah.
accomplishing that.
accomplishments. That's really cool, dude. And I love that shoe. That's my favorite shoe of all time. The
Yeah,
Off-White
man, I
Jordan.
love
I
it
got
too.
that this year, and like I was so happy whenever I was finally able to get it. Man, that's my shoe. That's my go-to. I
It's
love
crazy that you say that because out here in Chicago, they had a restock on State Street. Not recently, but when they first came out, it was like maybe like 2 or 3 days later. No one knew about the restock, and I got 12 pairs of those for retail.
No,
which
you
was
did not,
insane.
dude. The Off-White.
What?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
man.
store did they restock at on State Street? I've been to Chicago a few times, but
It was at the 23 store, Jump.
23
whatever,
store,
Jordan
that like 3-story, whatever, that 2-story
Yeah.
Really?
Jordan store.
That's insane.
That's awesome. That's super
Yeah.
cool.
So on your YouTube, you are very transparent about using bots and to get sneakers. Why is that? Why is your overall opinion, or like, what is your overall opinion using bots? Because a lot of sneakerheads very against bots. They think it hates or hurts the game. So yeah, what's
And
your
then there's
opinion?
two sides of the spectrum. Then you got the people. I mean, you also have the contradiction of like, oh, these people have a bot, so they're just cooking everything easy. And it's like, no, there's going to be plenty of days where you run the bot and you hit nothing. There's going to be plenty of times where you get 30 pairs and 29 of them get canceled. Like it's I mean, there's some balance out to it. Like, yeah, you're gonna
Mhm.
have
It's not instant.
better odds,
Yeah.
but you also put in more work. So I mean, what you're transparent about that? What's some of your thoughts on that?
All right, so not many people know about this, but my college degree is actually cybersecurity. So I deal with a lot of servers and a lot of computer stuff. So I'm very smart when it comes to the computer programming or just general computer softwares. So On my end, I'm really educated on the whole proxies, the servers, and what kind of stuff that you need and don't need. So using a bot for me comes really easy due to the fact that I already understand like the processing behind everything.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that I like, the reason why I'm sometimes iffy is because sometimes people think that just because you have a bot, you're guaranteed at least one shoe. When in reality, it doesn't work like that. And then you also gotta like think about the other investments of, like I said, either you need a server, you don't need a server. It doesn't really like matter, but I recommend you should. And then the proxies that you get, because the proxies can, get pretty pricey depending on the company that you have. And like I said, a lot of people just aren't informed correctly. Like I said, I have a lot of people that ask me questions and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go buy this bot," and I'm assuming I'm gonna get like 10 pairs automatically, and I'm thinking to myself like, "No, that's not how it works."
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you educate yourself by reading what the product is or what they can handle and do, because honestly, bots are just it's a hit or miss, honestly, depending on the release and the bot that you're using, but it also is depending on the developer who's making the bot. A lot of the developers who are making the bots now probably don't have the correct updates on their bot sometimes, which I noticed with Nike Shoebot, even sometimes with Cyber, because Cyber isn't always hitting, and I have Cyber right now,
Mm-hmm.
So it's just usually a hit or miss. I think if you have the extra money lying around and you want to get invested into botting, I would definitely do it. I would start off with using probably Nike Shoebot, since it is better than I personally think is AIO bot. I used to use AIO bot a lot. I noticed it still has somewhat of success, but mostly on foot sites. Regardless to that, it doesn't really hit anymore. I know BNB is still around. I definitely don't recommend that anymore. A lot of people always ask me if I recommend that. No, I do not, because of the fact that all the Nike accounts that you guys are buying from third-party stuff are usually getting banned right away. And Nike BNB, or Nike Sneakers app in general, is upgrading their team, which means that they're having better bot protection or Nike fake accounts. So it's just a really bad investment to get BNB. Like I said, once you start understanding the servers, the proxies, and then just, hitting sometimes on some shoes and sometimes taking L's, it's just like, just a time where you're just gonna keep on hitting or not hitting. It
Right.
just it's trial and error depending on the proxies that you get, and there's not really a specific statistic of you actually hitting on a shoe. I personally, like I said, I have a lot of connections throughout Chicago, Illinois, since I'm known out here. So I'm able to get my shoes on the same day at stores. So I don't have a problem with that. The only issue that I have is the fact that I don't have enough clientele sometimes, especially around with the pandemic occurring, where they can't afford it. But like I said, I also have my little brother who I educated on how to bot and stuff. So even when I'm busy on the weekends, let's say if I am camping out places or going places to go in Chicago, I know I can rely on my little brother to run these programs for me. And if he needs help, he can Zoom call me or call me on the phone, FaceTime, and I'll make sure to help him out as much as I can.
Right.
So it's just stuff like that. But like I said, like if you have extra money on the side and you're willing to invest your money in bots, then I would definitely do it. Like I said, I would recommend using Nike Shoebot as a first beginner. And then if you have extra money lying around, I would get either Ghost, Cyber, or which was the other one, Soul Slayer or something like that. I can't even remember right now. There's too many bots out there.
Yeah,
but
it seems
that's
like
just
there's a
what
new
I
bot every.
recommend,
Yeah.
honestly.
Right,
Exactly.
but yeah, well, actually, yeah. Sticking with that, just real quick, what bots do you currently own and use right now? Like, what's some of your recommendations on that?
So I have about, I think, 6 of them. So right now I have CyberSo, I have Ghost, I have NSB, I have AIO, I have BNB, I have Eve, and then what's my other one? Let me check real quick. I used to have something called Oakbot. I used to be really known. Now I'm not sure if they're making it anymore. Then I have another 2 of them, but I think it's on my other 2 servers, which I can't remember. But I'm pretty sure one of them is Soul Slayer, I believe.
Which one's been your most effective one, I guess, recently?
So it really depends. Like
It's
I
gonna
said,
vary, yeah.
usually when I'm running my bots, the top 3 that I would probably use would be NSB, CyberSo, Ghost, and Eve. Right now, those have been hitting a lot online, especially. So those are the ones that are my go-to for definitely starting. Like I said, AIO hasn't been that good. Only time I use AIO is if I'm going through foot sites. And Ghost is pretty good. I know I hit a couple on that. I'm pretty sure they have Finish Line, if I'm not mistaken. That, and I believe some foot sites, which seem to excel a lot in that. And then the other bot that I'm trying to get right now is BalcoBot. I heard BalcoBot has been doing really good. I don't have it yet, but I'm planning on trying to get it somehow. So yeah, those are just like the best ones that I have right now that I run that currently do hit.
There you
Awesome.
go.
Very cool.
So I see that you're wearing a FaZe Clan jersey. So this question goes out to that is you recently started creating content for Call of Duty and showing your progress as a trick shotter. How did you get into gaming in general, and why did you decide to post videos about it and as well try out for the FaZe Clan?
All right, so I'm going to tell you something that's kind of funny. This is definitely from my past. I'm not going to say I'm embarrassed about it, but it's something that I didn't realize I could have gone and progressed. But so back in 2007, maybe 6, I started, I'm sure you guys know about this program called Club Penguin.
Oh,
yeah.
All right,
You
so
started trick
I started
shotting on
this
there?
that's where I started my YouTube. I started making YouTube videos on Club Penguin cheats. And actually, as crazy as this sounds, I was actually known as being famous on Club Penguin.
Wow.
My username back then was called Izzy Rocks. A lot of people actually knew me from like Club Penguin stuff. I think at the age back in 2006 or 7, I'm pretty sure I was probably like 13, maybe 12 or 13. And I didn't realize this, but I was making just random videos on Club Penguin, just helping people with the cheats and stuff. And then I gained like 1,800 subscribers within 5 months. And I was like, I didn't know that was a good number, you know? Like I was a little kid. I knew that was a high number. And I got partnership, but I didn't know how the whole money situation occurred and stuff and how I was going to get paid. So I didn't even care about the money, you know?
Right.
Little did I know I was getting paid at the time. And then high school freshman year, I got bullied, not by the same person that made fun of me on my shoes, but a different people that I went to. And,
man.
It just made me stop what I was doing. I think back in high school when I got to that thing, I was at, I think like 5.6K subscribers or maybe 10,000. I can't remember. It was one of those two numbers. And I stopped. But after I stopped within that process of doing Club Penguin videos for about maybe 2-3 years, I decided that I want to get into gaming. I used to watch FaZe Clan and Optic Gaming for quite some time. I actually had a couple of friends who actually used to be in Optic. I'm not sure you guys know who Optic Hex is, but he is the leader of Optic, or was, and he actually lived in Chicago. So I actually had a friend of mine that actually knew him, so I had a connection towards him. So that was one person I definitely looked up to. And then another person that I looked up to would be Zerg Riz. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar who that is, but it's a crazy quick scoper as well as trick shotter. And I just got so influenced with that. And I decided to make my own separate YouTube channel for gaming. Unfortunately, it didn't work out due to the fact that I was currently in baseball and football. So I did not have the time or the dedication to be on the gaming level. But as I grow older now with the whole pandemic going on, I don't have a job currently right now because I just got laid off. So I use YouTube, stock market, as well as just reselling shoes as my income right now. So now I have all this time. So now I decided why not get back into the gaming community and just kind of like change my YouTube channel, because a lot of people, you know, specify like one thing to their channel, which is why maybe lately, or I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I kind of want to just like branch out and not just have it my thing called Sell Sneakerz. I kind of want to just have it like complete, like all in one, like I do everything, because I don't want to just be focused on sneakers, because a lot of people like think, oh, my page is just sneakers, and I'm kind of getting not necessarily bored of it, but I want to branch out because sometimes it's hard for me to even get a shoe sometimes, especially with the pandemic, or I just don't have the motivation to just make strictly sneaker videos all the time.
No, cool, man. That'd be super cool to branch out your page like that. I'm sure people would love to see that. But kind of moving on to our next question, you know, inevitably you're going to probably run into some shoes that you buy and you click the submit button, or all those shoes come through and you realize that, oh no, it's starting to brick, all the prices start dropping. I think we see that more now than ever. Just like even with like Yeezys, like, oh, I'm gonna get all these Yeezys. By the time they get in, you can maybe make $5. Otherwise, you're just gonna have to dip. So what's your kind of your strategy to handling those shoes that maybe you end up buying that end up bricking over time when the price kind of drops on them?
So this is my best advice as an entrepreneur to anyone that's doing this stuff. Whether it's $5, $10, $15, or $20, profit is profit. I am that guy that's willing to buy a brick. I don't care what it is, even if it's $5 profits. $5 is $5 that I didn't have, so I continue to even get it, because a lot of people do complain about that. A lot of people get upset because, oh, well, it's bricking, I want to make $20 profit. $20 is either gas money, something to eat, or just anything in general you can use for $20. So with me, I don't have that problem because my Instagram business page is pretty high. So even if I just get $20, $15, I'm content. That's, like I said, it's money that I didn't have, and it's better to me get something than I don't get anything at all.
No, definitely. No, I'm the same way. I follow that mindset for sure.
Yeah. So now jumping back onto the Pokemon from earlier, you know that was one of your most recent videos that you just uploaded, and you did a tutorial about reselling Pokemon cards instead of sneakers. Why did you decide to kind of jump into the realm of cards reselling? And do you think it's gonna change the sneaker game? Is it taking away from the sneakers, or is it just completely two different beasts, and you're just jumping on the train?
Yeah, honestly, I'm just jumping on the train. If I'm being really honest with you, I actually used to collect Pokemon cards. I actually had the first edition cards. Little did I know that my cards right now, I would have kept them in a good mint condition. I'd probably be a millionaire right now, if I'm being honest with you.
Exactly. Yeah.
But my uncle and myself actually sold our cards later down the road because we're like, oh, well, these probably aren't going to be worth anymore. And I'll be honest with you, I used to play with them. So I have it in sleeves and I was a little kid. So I didn't know that the value would have been up, or I didn't really care about my cards, the way in the condition. But after watching Logan Paul's video from that my friend told me about, I was watching it and I was just like shocked. I was like, wow, like Pokemon is actually making a comeback. Like I know it's been around a while, but like the fact that you're able to get like old edition, first edition or base set edition cards and they're worth money is like ridiculous to me. Like even now, let's just say we're buying the cards that we have now, especially right now. Like I have literally a whole lot of like Pokemon stuff right there just sitting. But what I plan to do is hold on to those things for about 10 years. Yes, it's a long-term investment, but within 10 years from now, I guarantee you every single Elite Trainer box that I have right now is going to be triple times the worth that it is now. So that's why I think Pokemon is definitely something that a lot of people are getting into. I noticed that even people in the sneaker world right now are currently getting Pokemon cards and they're following the wave that I set out. So like sometimes I go to my local Walmart, Target, and I see the people that are reselling shoes that are reselling Pokemon cards now. So it's just like, I think it's just a cool transaction to just get another income source, you know?
Right.
As crazy that sounds to be like kind of like, I guess, not necessarily bogus, but, you know, supply someone else's demand. It's like, you know, everyone has to make money somehow, you know? So I'm just always been a type of hustler. Like I even have it tatted on my arm. I'm not sure you guys can even see it, but it says hustle right here.
Oh, okay.
So it's just something that I've always been passionate about, is always hustling and just trying to make an extra income all the time. Because if I'm being really honest with you, I don't want to work a 9-to-5 job for the rest of my life. I want to be my own business entrepreneur type person and make my own schedule. So that's just my mentality that I have, you know?
Right.
No, that's awesome, man. And that actually pans really well into this next question where obviously you did mention that you're about to graduate. So once you're done with college, you know, where do you kind of see your channel taking off in the next 5 years? Because you're saying that maybe you don't want to work that typical 9-to-5. Do you want to try and progress and do more on YouTube, or what kind of route are you hoping to go from here?
Yeah, absolutely. Just I feel like right now my channel is just so directed towards sneakers, where I feel like a lot of my audience is missing because a lot of people out there right now is just sneakers. So that's why I'm trying to branch out and create different aspects of things. Because as I noticed through the younger audience, because I have two younger brothers, one that's 7 and one that's 12. And my 7-year-old little brother, he likes to watch a lot of Pokemon stuff, even if it's just unboxing and revealing the newest Pokemon stuff. So I realized that that's maybe another age category that I kind of want to hit, you know, so that way I get more viewers to go to my channel. And then my little brother, who's 12 years old, just likes to watch anything random, basically. Like it could be just gaming stuff on Call of Duty or whatever it might be. So it's just like two different aspects that I could get merged with my channel. That way I could bring more audience to my stuff. And then hopefully that would like engage other people to watch my YouTube videos and just, you know, continue to support what I do.
No, definitely. That's always a great idea, is putting more. It's just giving yourself. I mean, you're casting more lines out there for someone to take the bait. I mean, the more different categories that you kind of cover. Yeah, diversity is gonna definitely be key for that. But so you actually, for this next question, you kind of touched on it a little bit earlier when you said, you know, kind of how many pairs you have in your collection. You mentioned somewhere around 40. But to kind of piggyback off that, are you kind of partial to one brand? Do you like, you know, one set of sneakers more than the other, or kind of where do you fall on that line? Because some people love Adidas, some people won't wear Adidas, some people love Jordan, hate Nike, love Nike, hate Jordan. Kind of where do you fall on that spectrum?
All right, so I was definitely a Jordan fan. My favorite Jordan shoe that I personally own and love will always be the Jordan 1s. I also like the Jordan 11s as well as the 4s and the 5s. Now, those are the only shoes that I probably wear. I do have a couple of 6s, but they're not my favorite.
Okay.
The 13s, I personally think, in my opinion, they're just too bulky and fat. I don't really like them that much.
Right.
But again, I have a couple of those 13s as well, just because it's just the hype and it's there. So I'll get it. Regards to Adidas, I probably did fall in love with Adidas due to the fact that Kanye West had his collaboration with Yeezy, being the shoe, the 350V too.
Those are nice.
I did have the V1 version. I had a couple of those. I just didn't like the sizing because it wasn't true to size, so they were kind of bigger on me. So I didn't want to keep them anymore, you know. So I didn't even know that the value was going to skyrocket the way it did.
All right.
I personally like the V2s a lot better. I like going to the gym a lot, so I actually like to wear my V2s at the gym. So I wear that for comfort and just because of the style. It's a Yeezy shoe. When people come up and be like, "Oh, you own Yeezys," and it's a cool feeling to say you own them. Even though right now, unfortunately, Kanye West is producing way too many Yeezys right now, and the value of them are just going down, which is ridiculous. But I think that he did this on purpose just so he can get his money up, but also to turn the shoe into kind of like what was that Nike product shoe that a lot of people used to wear for working out? It was a Roshi Run.
Oh yeah, Nike Roshi Run. Yep.
I feel like that's the next big way for Yeezy because that's the way I look at it now. It's just like it's a Roshi Run. Like everyone owns it. It's not considered rare unless you had like the first edition Zebras, I guess you can say, or the red V2s and stuff like that. So
yeah, whenever he went to Adidas originally, he even mentioned something that like his Yeezy Boost was gonna take over the Roche Run that everyone was wearing. So that's kind of funny.
And I feel bad for the people that bought the Yeezy Zebras when they first came out for $1,000. Yeah, and not even a couple of months later, they just made another restock, and all of a sudden the value went down drastically.
So
I mean, wow. That's the risk, you know. That happened with we had some Travis Scott 6s in. We sold them for $1,300, and now if you can go on like GOAT or StockX, and they're like $600, you know.
Yeah, that's insane.
The name of the game, you know. But I think it's probably, I don't know if you saw that Travis Scott just it was wearing a new colorway in his last. It was like the PS5 drop. They're coming out with that yellow.
That. I did see that.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if the other 6s kind of have an uptick.
No, absolutely.
So we're coming down to our few last questions of the podcast. One of them is we always ask all of our guests, what is your all-time grail, and do you currently own it?
Yeah. Oh, so I have a couple.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, they're all off-whites. I'll be honest with you. I own literally every single pair of off-white. Those are just my grail, just to the fact that it's a collaboration as a designer brand. So I think that's phenomenal right off the bat. My favorite off-white shoe is probably going to be the Jordan 1 UNCs, as well as probably like the Prestos. The Prestos are completely comfortable, and I love Nike Prestos in general. So it's an amazing fit, and it feels awesome.
The black and the white, do you have both colorways?
I do have both. Yes.
Oh my gosh, dude! I do love the Presto Off Whites. Like Off White's probably my one brand too, or my one collab that I'm just like I want to get all these hype shoes, but if I had to choose, I'd be choosing Off White. Off White always puts out just some crazy.
Absolutely.
Heat,
and it's even better when you're able to get it for retail. Like I've been so fortunate. All my shoes are all retail, so I don't got to worry about paying that resale value, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's very rare nowadays.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome. Good for you.
For our final question of the podcast is, if you could choose, who should we have on next?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, and that can be anyone that's that you want to hear from, or that can be anyone that's kind of helped you along on your way that you think would want to get their story out there. Just any number of stuff like that.
So I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure you guys had it on your podcast yet, but a person that actually influenced me into somewhat botting would be that one guy. What's his name? Bouter Boy Nova.
Oh yeah, we had him on. We had him on
a few.
He's an awesome guy.
That's a great guy.
He's a straight.
I'm not even gonna lie. That guy definitely encouraged me to go out there and make my investments into botting. Yeah. I think that was one of the people that I seen because I saw it on someone's recommended list, and I clicked it. I'm like, oh, let me check it out. And this is before he even got big, you know. And I decided to check it out. I was like, oh, content's pretty good, you know. Let's see what this guy's about. And then he just grew like crazy.
He's
taking over 100K subscribers now, and it's just like wow, like
man,
it's just shocking to me. You know?
I mean, when we had him on, his work ethic is insane. He works, not only
all hours of the day, man.
Yeah, he's like 13 hours of editing. Yeah, it's crazy. So
it's quality videos, man. He has some good videos. His editing is on point. I gotta get into that level. It's just I have so much stuff on my time that I can't edit like that. You know?
So but if you find a way to make it full time, though, all those problems go away, man. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm telling you. That's super cool though. But hey, man, that's actually gonna wrap it up for this episode. If you like this episode, feel free to show your support by liking, following, subscribing to whichever platform that you're listening to. And of course, thanks again to Izzy for coming on, and thank you to our listeners for tuning in. And we will see you next episode. Peace.